Welcome back into the Alabama Football Report. I am Tom Downey, producer Chris, once again behind the scenes as we have, as promised, continuation into the offseason for Alabama after the painful, frustrating, and loss I still think, Chris, is not yet over. Today we'll break down what's next for some Bama players entering the NFL draft, transfer portal, and recruiting. Do make note, Bama has an extended transfer portal window because they played in the College Football Playoff Semifinals. There will be news that happens. We will keep you updated on that here, so make sure you are subscribed. Over 3,000 of you subbed coming in from the CFP semifinal watch party. Happy to have you guys here. Keep on subbing. In kind of a, that was quick, but also like, Dallas Turner is entering the 2024 NFL Draft. I think he was asked about it post-game, but said, I'm gone. Ain't no ifs, ands, or buts about it, which, like, we knew he was gone. He's going to be a top 15-something, might be the first defensive player taken in this year's class. We knew he wasn't going to come back. The quickness of they lost to, see, I'm gone, is a little jarring maybe, but also, like, everyone knew. It's just like the optics of are you going to announce it or not. Turner wraps up his career as one of the better Alabama edge rushers in a very, very, very long list of really good Alabama edge rushers. He's not Will Anderson. I disputed those who tried to claim he was better than Will Anderson. That was more of a draft perspective than I think it was Bama people from that perspective. 22.5 sacks, 32.5 TFLs, made a couple splash plays against Michigan, but in the end, it just wasn't enough for the Crimson Tide overall. But it'll be a first-round pick. Turner currently is ranked number 11 on Mel Kiper's big board, and there aren't many great defensive prospects here. It's a light class. Turner has a real shot to be a top 10 pick and the first player taken in the first defensive player taken, I should say, in this year's draft. This was a very obvious move. You know, we knew it was going to happen. It's more of a, hey, did you do the optics right of just like sitting down and like you're asked like you just go, I don't care. I'm upset about the loss. Like, that's all I have to say. It doesn't really change my view of anything about Dallas Turner at all, but you could have won some not lost PR points maybe is the way to go about it there. So prediction time. What draft pick does Dallas Turner go? Is he 5? Is he 6? Is he 11? Is he 13? It's the pinned comment on today's video. So if the ad comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and go vote. Austin Hannon tweeting about the quote from Terrion Arnold, seemingly keeping the door open maybe for the return, says there's a lot to be proud of. I grew a lot with my brothers. We've got unfinished business. Also on his future quote, to be honest, I'm just taking in this moment right here. I'm going to use it as motivation. So that's what you want Turner to say, right? It's just like, I'm not worried about it right now. Arnold is in contention to be the first corner drafted this year. I think he and Kool-Aid McKinstry, probably your betting favorites, Cooper DeJean, Nate Wiggins from Iowa and Clemson, respectively, in that conversation too. Arnold took a massive step forward. 52.6 completion percentage, 441 yards allowed, only 2 TDs, 13 pass breakups, and 5 interceptions. He showed the inside-outside flex ability that I think is very valuable for NFL teams. And Arnold's going to at least get the feedback from the committee. And they're going to say, you're going to be a first-round pick probably. And I would bet you that when Nick Saban gets that, he goes, man, go pro. Like, take care of your future more than trying to win a championship here. You're passing on being a top 20 pick, I think. Doesn't happen that often. It happens sometimes in college, but it's not a very common thing. And no, the NIL difference is not enough to make up the signing bonus of being a top 20 pick. So does Terrion Arnold enter and declare for the 2024 NFL Draft? A for yes, B for no in the comments section. Let's look in here on Justice Haynes, which was kind of our, had they won, would have been a very big talking point for this week of how is he going to be deployed against eventually Washington beat Texas. He's going to be a top 2 back next year, regardless of who's back, who's not back or in 2024. He's going to be. And he was, I think you're right, Chris. He was a top 2 back this year as well. He didn't play that much because of seniority. I think he's banged up a little bit too. I mean, you saw the elbow in a brace. But he had 4 carries against Michigan, and he averaged 7.8 yards per attempt. That's really impressive. I thought Jason McClellan was fine. He hit the one big chunk run to score, and then a couple of nice first down conversions, but kind of was just a bit of, for the most of the offense too, to be fair, very much feast or famine in that game. Some of Bama's best plays of moving the change consistently featured Justice Haynes. He had 10, 11. Like he was moving the ball effectively and efficiently. He finishes the year with 25 carries, 168 yards, a 6.7 average, and 2 total touchdowns. I probably would have used Haynes more. Does that change the end result of the game? I don't know. But I wouldn't have kept going back to Roydell Williams. Now, maybe that was some pass protection stuff. They don't trust the freshman. That's all fine, I get. Your best players got to play. He was making some plays out of nothing, hitting holes well, maximizing his runs, all very valuable stuff. No surprise that, Saban wasn't asked about it because more often than not, the challenging of coaches doesn't happen, especially after a championship loss. You're kind of more big picture senior stuff. Producer Chris is very nervous. He enters the transfer portal. I'd be a little bit surprised because he should be like the lead back or at least the top 2 back next year. Then again, it is the portal. It is college football, and there is tampering that goes on. So to a certain extent, you just got to get to the portal, and then you'll all feel better. So what do you guys think? Are you nervous? Justice Haynes enters into the transfer portal here. Y for yes, N for no. Sound off in the comments section. I'd argue Haynes and Miller should have played more. Jan Miller showed a couple decent things in his role as well. We'll see exactly what the return situation looks like next year, who goes in the portal, who doesn't. I'd be worried more about Jan Miller entering in the portal, by the way, than I would be Justice Haynes. There's a real argument those 2 guys are RB1 and 2 next year. Jace McClellan played 36 snaps this year or against Michigan. Then it was 13 for Haynes, 13 for Williams, and 4 for Jan Miller, but he had a couple nice plays on those as well. Roydell Williams had 1 carry for -1 yards. It's not really moving the needle for me. They clearly didn't trust, anybody other than McClellan and Williams to do pass protection because Miller and Haynes played 0 snaps there. But go with the young, talented guys. I think Haynes and Miller are your future, frankly. All right, coming up next, we will talk transfer portal and recruiting updates, as there's a lot to get into on that front. But first, today's show is made possible by Prize Picks. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS for a first deposit match up to $100. Links in the comment section and the description of today's video. Bama and Michigan delivered my Prize Picks flex play. Always go 2 out of 3 or 3 out of 4. Give yourself the little boost there, and you'll come out on top, more than enough to justify the difference in lesser return. Here are my NFL Prize Picks this week. I'm not doing one on principle, at least for Bama, right now on the championship game. Dak Prescott, more than passing yards. Rashad White, more than rushing yards. And more than rushing yards for Kenneth Walker as well. Bad Commanders pass defense. Mediocre Panthers run defense. Really bad Arizona run defense. Again, that link, prizepicks.com/CLNS, is in the comment section and the description of today's show. prizepicks.com/CLNS. All right, the transfer portal. Now, Bama has the extended transfer portal window from January 2nd to January 6th for players to enter and potentially leave. And I certainly would like to find a new center as well in the process. How are you a center as a senior? You can't snap the damn football. That final play, if the snap is good, it might have worked. I still don't love the design and the play call, but it might have worked. The problem is I don't know who your centers are. So can you teach one of the guards to snap maybe? I don't know which plan is there. Is there a backup player you've got ready to go? There are, however, 2 intriguing tackle transfer options we'll discuss on today's show, since, again, I think there's a chance you're going to lose some depth pieces into the portal here, although he's able to make his recruits and pitches and do probably a pretty good job on that front. Now, first up is, as Alabama's gone more and more international on recruits, Victor Stoffel? I'm not sure how to pronounce it. He's from Stockholm, Sweden, by the way. Temple in the portal, 6th-year player, 875 right tackle snaps. Of note, you're going to lose JC Latham. Question marks to who exactly will be in there. Elijah Pritchett has his off the field stuff going on right now. Also hopped in the portal for like a day and then, or at least maybe he didn't even enter it. Might have just said he was and then changed his mind. Lance Hurd, the former 5-star tackle, is in the portal as well. That one breaking not that long ago. Also seen him listed as Zalance Hurd, but Lance is on the LSU bio, so we're going to go with that one there. Smaller sample size for Hurd, obviously, so the numbers are, a little bit weighted, but not even numbers on the snap counts, 876 for Victor, 195 for Hurd. Solid performance from Hurd, and I'd say also pretty good numbers from Victor Stoffel as well. Better pass blocker than run blocker for him, by the way, on the grades. Pritchett, by the way, is an unknown. Got the legal issues right now. Also, I think could totally jump back in the portal. Wouldn't actually shock me, by the way, because he almost did it once. He lost the left tackle job to Caden Proctor pretty early. Proctor, in the end, gave up a ridiculous amount of sacks in 2023. Now, he's a true freshman. He'll be better as the year goes along. But also, what does that say about Elijah Pritchett? What does that say about how, and I think, to be fair, I think Proctor was better, clearly, than Pritchett from what we saw. Smaller sample size, obviously. So, I'm not sure you trust him. So, pick a transfer offensive tackle to go out and add. VS for Victor, I think it's pronounced Stoffel, or LH for Lance Hurd. Do it in the comments section right now. Finally, some quick recruiting news here. 4-star cornerback Zay Mincey and running back Daniel Hill have been predicted by both 24/7 Sports and On3, your top recruiting leaders these days, or recruiting site leaders, I should say, to go to Alabama. Now, both guys are going to announce on Saturday at the Under Armour All-American Bowl. Both guys signed in the early signing day period, which, again, the implication here is the recruiting sites got word of who it was. And you can normally kind of figure things out, too, based on, what the other attackings are from those teams that were in the mix. Are they going after another back, or are they kind of dialing back? If they're going after somebody, probably means they didn't get him, right? So this would be a significant get for the Alabama recruiting cycle, both of them. Another defensive back for Zay Mincey, listed as a safety on 24/7 Sports Composite, but I think he can play corner for you. Top 55 overall, top 10 player from the state of Florida. Daniel Hill, who we've spent months on because Bama was always the favorite there. Top 200, another notable running back, number 6 from the state of Mississippi. It's not enough to catch Georgia in the recruiting rankings, I do not believe, but it is going to cement the number 2 class for the Crimson Tide. So where will those two go? Those two guys go. A for Alabama, O for other. Flood the comment section with your A's.